SpaceCorp. This is your review for 2. Good day. My name is Joe. Today we'll be going over SpaceCorp and how it plays with 2 players. Now SpaceCorp is a 1 to 4 player game where you'll be playing over 3 eras, trying to make the most profit as you explore Mars, explore our solar system, and then explore the rest of the stars. So let's see a little bit more how to play. So SpaceCorp is a card-driven game. You'll be playing over these 3 eras, exploring Mars and exploring our solar system and beyond. But the main actions you're going to do are from these cards. The basic action is the move action. That's how you're going to maneuver your teams around. You're going to start the first 2 phases with 2 teams as you move them around. Then you're going to explore, discovering these tiles and flipping over these tiles. You maybe find water. You may find life, attractions, natural wonders, all these different things. Once you kind of own, or stake your claim on the discovery that you found, then you want to build. You're going to do a build action to actually build your bases, establish your bases. These are refineries, spaceports, biolabs, all to give you some of these different bonuses and kind of claim your land so nobody else can take it. So then you can produce and do research on it so you can get some extra stuff. Remember, the person with the most profit by the end wins. So we'll be playing over 3 eras, doing those actions. And on your turn, it really is pretty simple. You want to conduct your actions. So you can play a card or multiple cards. If you want to do the same action, you can add up the number of values. Especially that's how you move a lot during the later phases of the game. Then you can claim any contracts. There are contracts which trigger the end of the era if there are 6 completed, but these will also get you money throughout the game. So definitely like an end goal for each era to work towards. Then you can perform a team transport if you have a spaceport, and then you will draw back up to or draw an extra card if you have 4 or less. So it's kind of a card and hand management game as well. So a lot to think about in this game, but it really is a card-driven game where you need to decide which cards you want to play, what action do you want to do this turn. And then it goes on to the next player. So the next player may want to move, claim their area, build in that area. So card-driven game, handful of cards, and that's how you'll be doing things around the board. So let's see a little bit more what I thought about the game. So the components in this game, really nothing special, but I really did like the art and art style of the main boards in this game. I believe there are AI art on the card. Doesn't bother me, but I know it bothers some people. The rules and references, the rules were fairly well laid out. I really enjoyed that in this GMT game. The rules were very flowy. However, what's even better are these reference sheets. These reference sheets are awesome. Once you read the rule book, you may be like slightly confused, and then these reference sheets are such a great way to look at and go like, oh, that is what this does. And after the first 1 or 2 playthroughs, I didn't even have to look at the book at all. It was such a good rules and reference sheets in this game. So let's talk about setup and table size. Setup will take you a little bit, are a lot of decks to kind of shuffle before every era. You do have to put the start cards on top and shuffle some of the rest in. So kind of a little bit of a pain to set up, and each era is going to take you about 5 minutes to set up, but that really isn't bad overall. It will take you a lot of table space, especially once you get to the Planeteers area and then the Starfarers area. We'll be using both of these boards, and each person will have their own little player setup. It is going to be kind of a table hog for what it is, but I don't mind that, especially in a game like this. So let's go into the gameplay, and that is where I really like this game. It really is a card and hand management. At the end of your turn, you are going to draw you're going to draw 1 card if you have 4 or less. So you really have to manage your cards. There's these, you can combine your cards so you can use multiple resources on your turn if you want. There's also a research action. This research action lets you draw cards if you have 7 or less. So you have to realize, Do you want to spend a turn researching, getting extra cards in your turn for future playthroughs or for future turns? Do you want to move? It really is action picking. Which actions am I going to do on my turn? You only have one, and then you have to react to what the other people around the table are doing. And I really like that about this game is you can see somebody move to a system, and you're like, ooh, I wanted to move to that, but they're already ahead of me. They're going to explore ahead of me, and then I don't want them to have money if I kick them out of the explore action because I want to build there. So there's just a nice little, you can kind of see the writing on the wall in the future of, ooh, they're taking that, but do they really want to do that? What cards do I think they have in their hand? And it really is kind of a guessing game at times, but there's a lot of open information, and I really like that about this game. The first phase is pretty easy, or the first era is pretty easy. You're just exploring Mars. There's a couple little things to do, but as the game opens up in the Planeteers area and the Starfarers area, we're actually going to really try to make those profits for your end game scoring. And getting the research at the end, putting out some of these colonies on the Starfarers board is just really neat. It kind of culminates to this last board. The first boards are kind of, they don't mean as much. You're going to be scoring some points. You'll see a victor. You definitely want to try to be the first to a certain area, so you can be first next round and get a little bonus for you. But the gameplay is just really nice. The randomness is fairly minimal. If you draw off the top of the deck, sure, you don't know what you're going to get. There are innate powers that you're going to have on your board. And these can be upgraded. So you'll always have, at the start of the game, a move 1 and a build 1. So when you play your build and your move, you'll actually get a +1. But as the game progresses, you can spend a turn to put down the Starfarers action, a move 4, explore 2. So you always have that. You don't have to expend cards sometimes, or if you want to combo it with something in your hand, you have some innate power. And I really like that about this game. Do I want to spend that turn so all my future turns become easier? During the Planeteers era, you have to make sure you're radiation shielded from moving and building. Do you have those cards in your hand, or is it worth the couple victory points you're going to spend? Do you want it now, or do you want to wait for something else? There's a lot of choice in this game. The theme may be a little bit dry for some, but just the card play, just seeing what's out there, taking your time, and just seeing the board evolve through these different eras. I think the gameplay itself, each era took us about an hour or so. And, there's 3 eras, so the game takes about 3 hours once you kind of know what you're doing. But the gameplay itself, very smooth from the humble beginnings to starting to see some of these upgrade cards as far as the research and the breakthrough and adaptation cards to what you put on your board. Adventures add some special powers that you can use throughout the game. So the gameplay in this is very smooth. So how does this game play with 2 players? And I do like this game with 2 players. I've only played it at 2 and solo. The 2-player game, like I said, if somebody moves to a region or to a planet that you really want to be at, you kind of stay away from that for a little bit because you don't want to waste any of your actions. Your actions are really precious because on their turn, once they move, you have to assume they're going to explore next, and then they're going to build their base. So if they're the first one to explore, they put their cube on the site, and then you can build a base on their site, but they're going to get 2 money for compensation, which can really add up at the end. Now, during the Starfarers phase, that's where most of the money is made in this game. So the first 2 eras of 2 don't feel as important as the last one. But for 2 players, the back and forth was really nice. It was just kind of weird to see, oh, they want to claim that. Well, I guess they'll explore, and they have enough cards they can probably build as well. So you're out to gauge what they're going to do. The era ends when 6 of the contracts are fulfilled or the deck runs out. There are cards that you can see that you can pick up with 2 and you can kind of fight for it a little bit. So 2 is decent with this game, but I really want to say this game really shined for me solo because I could take my time, I could do my quick actions, and the side deck was really fast. The AI was really fast to do. It'd be flip this over, put their team there, or research or build, and they would just tell you exactly what to do for that certain area. But with 2, it was definitely very enjoyable. Just know it is going to be a 3 era game. You cannot just play one era. You need to play all 3. And like I said, the first era is going to be on the back of this board, and then this board's double-sided for the 2 different eras. So a very enjoyable game. The theme may not hit for everybody. It is a little bit dry. The randomness is a little bit lower, but I had a good time. My wife also had a good time, but she didn't quite get into the kind of the cutthroat nature of the game of making sure that the most money was made from the actions she was doing, maximizing their actions and trying to, decide what bases to build. There's so much choice in this game. This game is really an outstanding game. It's kind of dry. It's not for everybody. The replayability is really expanded with the Ventures expansion, because they come out with asymmetric player powers, even in a couple AI different boards that you can use. But really a great game, just not for everybody. Like I said, a little bit dry. It's kind of the 3X. It's kind of a 3X game where you're just trying not to exterminate anybody. So you're trying to expand, explore, and exploit the resources on the board. Just there's no battling. So think of this like a 4X game with no battling. And if that kind of rings bell for you with a space theme, this game may be for you. I really enjoyed my game with my time with this. We played 4 games. And man, this is just a fantastic game. Won't reach great status for everybody, but will definitely stay in my collection. Hope you guys enjoyed the review, and until next time.